So at Computex this year, I got to check out the next gen Noctua 140mm fan, and it's super cool, and it's coming. But what happens if you want an upgrade right now? Welcome to Machines and More. Yep, I am back from Computex, and a big thanks for joining me along for that journey. So yeah, Q1 2024 for the next gen 140mm fan from Noctua. It's still a ways away, and I have a feeling after seeing it with all its luxurious build quality and an exotic LCP material, that pricing it's going to be up there. So if you've got a C14S or another cooler that uses a 140mm fan or a 280 AIO, there are options for, that you can buy right now, and they're, relatively affordable. And relatively. Today, let's just check out two of these best ones on the market right now. First one is the Be Quiet Silent Wings Pro 4. This is the bigger version of the Silent Wings 4 series. 120mm fans that I've reviewed in the past. The other one here is the Cooler Master Mobius 140P. This is also a bigger version of a 120mm fan, which is the 120p ARGB from Cooler Master. But unlike with the Silent Wings 4 series, where the 120 and 140mm versions are both in that Pro performance level, the Mobius, there is a Mobius OC version that's only available in 120mm form for the time being, and that one doesn't have ARGB. It's just, straight performance oriented. Both fans here, they were provided by the manufacturers for the review, so big thanks to them. As with all product reviews on the channel, I'm not paid by the manufacturers, and you can expect a fair and balanced and well-researched independent review here. So let's start with the Silent Wings Pro 4. In general, the 120mm version performs quite well without any major flaws. The pricing is reasonable as well. And the 140mm version, it also features a similar design. You have the RPM switch at the back of the fan. Top speed in the ultra high speed mode is 2400 RPM. Now there's always some variance that's built into the quoted spec. Mine topped out at about 2280 RPM, so it's about 5% off. For the high speed mode, which is the middle setting, the max is about 1900 RPM, and then lowest setting, which they've curiously labeled medium. I guess it's medium when you think about the maximum level of speed, not in terms of, 3 settings. That one's 1100 RPM. So, for most applications, I think high or ultra high, that's going to be applicable. To just set your fan curves according to that. The minimum speed, though, is about 10 to 15% of the maximum RPM, and there's no 0 decibel mode. So you might think it's just a scaled up version of the 120. It's not. It does have the same fiberglass reinforced polybutylene terephthalate blade material, but you can see the spacing on the 120mm versions. The spacing is tighter, and you've got only 7 blades on the 140mm version versus 9 on the 120. Both have those airflow grooves cut out on the blades, and the tip clearance, it's spec'd at 1mm for both versions, which means as a percentage of the overall diameter, the 140mm is tighter spacing. It does have the same type of corner mechanism as the 120, where you can just pop it off, swap out to one of the other 2 corner options that are included. I do like these radiator optimized ones that come on it out of the box though, and you only get these with the Pro version, and these will work fine for mounting on a radiator or with fan clips for a heatsink. And I would only switch to either of the other 2 if mounting to a case with fan screws, since one is for taking a fan screw and the other one is for a push pin mount. Do you have a 6-pole fan motor, fluid dynamic bearing, high-end cloth sleeved cable with a premium connector. Not too much play here on the axle. It does move up and down. The fan is completely blacked out without any flashy logos, so very high-end, luxurious appearance here. So onto the Cooler Master 140P ARGB. The Mobius has the ring blade design, and that means it's got this ring connecting the blade tips, and that helps with stability. This blade is translucent, so you can get the lighting effects that you choose to disperse out from the center where the RGB is, and that is ARGB Gen 2 compatible. Bearing here is Cooler Master's new oil reflow bearing system, which supposedly helps minimize friction by helping the oil reflow over the shaft. The frame is a bit more simple compared to Be Quiet's. There's no removable corners, just rubber pads on the corners. They do the job though. But the frame does have a chamfer cut on both sides that is supposed to help optimize airflow. Max speed on this fan is 1900 RPM. I got exactly 1900 RPM on these, and this will go to 0 RPM. Below about 15% PWM, it will go to 0. Cable sleeving on this fan is quite similar to the Be Quiet. It's a nice fabric as well. The only thing is the extension for the downstream ARGB device. It's not sleeved, but other than that, the cables, they do feel quite high-end. The connector, it's not as nice as the Be Quiet one though. Both these fans are exactly 25 millimeters thick. They both feature a 5-year warranty. If you're looking at upgrading the fan from your C14S, so both of these fans, they're going to be a notable performance upgrade over the stock A14 fan, and they would definitely be excellent fans for an AIO upgrade or on a custom loop. But I tested these on the C14S in the NR200 test system. Great cooler, and a fan upgrade really would be a big improvement for this cooler in this case. With our 5800X locked at 4.6 gigahertz and 1.25 volts, let's take a look at the low noise interval. Here we are at a system noise level of 0.3 decibels over the noise floor, so just barely audible here. The A14 is not a great performer at this noise level, and while the Mobius and the Be Quiet fan, they're both much better, the Silent Wings 4, the Pro 4 is the flat-out winner here. Temps like this mean that you can effectively run a chip with power consumption around 110-125 watts without much fan noise, just with air cooling with a 140mm fan, and that's pretty impressive. Next noise level, 1.7 decibels over the noise floor. Both fans are still doing very well. Again, the Be Quiet still ahead here. By the way, at identical noise levels, this setup with either of these two upgraded fans, it's ahead of the Noctua U12A, so that's very impressive indeed with just one fan. At a high noise level, the A14 fan is finally able to perform competently and just about catches up. The Mobius is just ahead here in the Silent Wings 4, slightly more so. But with this setup, I think the mid-range noise level is going to be more important since that's where you're going to get the best performance relative to the noise level. One thing the Silent Wings 4 Pro can do is go ultra high speed at 2270 RPM or the max RPM. There's still more thermal benefit here. That might be necessary if you're deploying on something high powered like a 13900K, but otherwise diminishing returns here since it's only a squeak better than 2000 RPM, but at a cost of more than 3 decibels of noise. So just a quick set of sound samples for you. The samples are all recorded with the mic at the same position. I didn't hear any unusual noises or bearing sounds at any of these intervals, so all good all around. Alright, so which one should you get? Well, let's put this into context. The Cooler Master fan, it's usually $30. The Silent Wings 4 Pro, it's about $32 when it launched. It's been $33, $34. More or less, they're comparable. The Mobius does have a special deal going on at the moment, which brings it down to only $20 US. I'm not sure how the pricing plays out long term, but that's a very good deal right now. Performance-wise, both are very solid. If you don't want or you don't need RGB, just want a dependable fan with best-in-class performance, and or perhaps you need that extra headroom for the extra RPM, go with a Be Quiet, right? Because it's a premium product, and I don't think you'll be disappointed with the fan, or the build quality, or the performance. Now, if you do want the RGB, obviously get the 140p Mobius. If you don't care, well, just don't plug that cable in, right? Because it works almost as well as the Be Quiet. Either way, you'll save a few bucks with this one, or even more, depending on how long the current promo lasts. Definitely right now, it's a much better buy, though. And I am hoping a performance version, the Mobius OC version, arrives for this fan soon. So big thanks for checking these out with me today. If you enjoyed this video and enjoy content like this, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel. And I'll leave links for the fans down below. Big thanks for watching today.